engaging way. The current psychology by sharing herself or interviewing experts who will inspire you. Learn how to live a life of fullness and how to recover your emotional harmony with Dr. Roman. Welcome to Emotions in Harmony.
Hey, how are you? My dear amigos in harmony, welcome to another episode. We are having so much fun here behind the scenes, so you will hear me laughing often. I am going to be sharing with you today what are the 4 books. The 4 books that changed my life, and I refer often and I go back and back. So I want to share with you that because of course, there are hundreds of books there, but I want to share the 4 that it definitely should be in your shelf. Ready? Here we go. By the way, there is the same topic by Cristobal Mo in Spanish, and even though I have his permission to kind of translate this his episode from Spanish to English, I am not even going to try because it's so good. His episode in Spanish is full of information, is wonderful, and he is lovely. So if you speak Spanish, please go and find the last episode in the podcast and listen to Cristobal Amo, or go to his channel, La Ley de Atracción y Abundancia, and find Cristobal Amo. He has more than 500 videos. I'm going to tell you a little bit of what I learned from him, and I am going myself. I did my own selection of books, and I'm going to share those books with you. So you will get way more than 4 today. Yeah? And also, well, first of all, let me introduce you the background. If you are in the video, by the way, today we are trying to go live at the same time in Facebook and YouTube. So if you are around there in Facebook or YouTube, say hello. We are trying new programs here. And if something goes wrong, it's Brenda's fault. Yeah, Brenda?
Okay.
Brenda and Maria are here in the back, and Maria Núñez, so they are working hard, so you have the best experience ever. And the background here is my backyard. And I am so happy to show you that because this weekend I start gardening again. Ready? Ready for the spring? So you don't see that much. It's just little tiny seeds there, but we have cucumbers and melon and parsley and basil and I don't know, like 10 plants I planted during the last weekend. Last year, I put a challenge to the listeners. Last year, as I was learning to garden, this is my 2nd year gardening. As I was learning to garden, my listeners will learn to meditate. And for me, gardening was amazing. We had vegetables all year, well, couple months during the year. We have a bunch of vegetables and herbs, and it was really good. And then I learned later in the year to plant succulents. So this year I am going to do the same challenge. As I go into my 2nd year of gardening and learning, and you can send me some tips about gardening, please. I am willing to learn a lot about gardening. You are going to meditate and share with me what are you learning, because this is why is the metaphor, because meditation is planting these beautiful flowers, these beautiful seeds of compassion, of love, of peace, inner peace into your life. And it requires time, it requires knowledge, it requires strength, and above all, it requires practice. Yeah? So, I garden, you learn meditation, and we both win. So here, let's talk about the 4 books. The 4 books that Cristobal Amo mentioned are, the first one is, yes, here we have, from Gary Renard, is The Disappearance of the Universe. He mentioned it in Spanish, but of course, Gary Renard, his first language was English, or his only language probably. So the disappearance of the universe, according to Cristobal Mo, will help you to keep in check your ego, to balance your ego, and to understand that we can learn from not being so focused on who we are, much more in who we want to be in the universe. Yeah. There are 3 books from Gary Renard. The Love Has Forgotten No One, The End of the Reincarnation, and The Disappearance of the Universe. And all of these 3 books, according to Cristobal Mo, I haven't read them myself, I will read them this year, is to help you to get a ease entry into the Course of Miracles. So you first read Gary Renard, and then you get an easy way into the Course of Miracles. According to Cristobal Mo, if you read the Disappearance of the Universe, you save 20 years into the teachings of the Course of Miracles. I will do it. Yeah, I will do it. I want to save time and to understand the Course of Miracles. And if you read the Course of Miracles, you save 100 years. Oh my God, I love it. Or you save 100 years into the next life or something like that. Go in the Spanish and hear from Cristobal Mo. Here is the Course of Miracles. I read the Course of Miracles back in 2008. I tried in 2008. I didn't finish it. I did the full circle in 2009. And what is it, the Course of Miracles? Why? Why so much buzz about it? The Course of Miracles is one of these books, is my favorite book of the channel. When somebody's channeling a book, you know. I think it's Helen Schumann, the psychologist who channeled Jesus Christ. And it came into this book. It's a series of, you cannot read it all at once, so it's not good if you read it all at once. You need to read one lesson per day. And there is a lot of information around the Course of Miracles. You can buy the cards and have it one by one. You can get it in your phone and get yourself to read one lesson, one by one. I told you I did the full circle of 365 in 2009. And at the end, I went into Vipassana. I actually finished my year by going into my first 10 days of Vipassana. Let me read to you the lesson number 12. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. And this is the idea of this lesson, of the lesson 12, is actually to understand that we can be grown in our perception. Most of the time we are grown in our perceptions, and we need to stop and think about, we need to stop sometimes believing what we see. And that's very challenging, and that's even confronting. This is why it could be a controversial book, because it's like, what? I have been believing in what I see all my life, and now you want me to not to trust that? Yeah, it's challenging. And it's different lessons like that. So take a look. Like lesson number 16. I have no neutral thoughts. I have no neutral thoughts. Psychologists, we like to believe that we have neutral thoughts and we have no agenda when it comes to clients. I love American psychologists because they like to believe that. But no, of course not. We have neutral thoughts. I have even, we have thoughts that have our perception, who we are, yeah? So of course I have my agendas for my clients. I try so hard not to impose my agenda on them. I really try to be aware, but pretending I have no agenda, it will be something else. Yeah, I just need to keep myself in balance and really check myself constantly when I work with my clients. So this is the common between Cristobal and I. I recommend the Course in Miracles, and I definitely will go back, follow his advice, and read the Get It Renard. Just by then, you have 4 books. In the Spanish, the title is The 4 Books That Will Solve Everything in Your Life. And I believe so. Doesn't mean that you are going to do it fast, doesn't mean that you are going to do it instantaneously. It may take you years to read these books and to understand what is it about. But who cares? Sometimes you go for years into therapy, and that's good. Yeah. I was talking to one person a couple weeks ago, and she say, I have like 3-4 years in therapy, but definitely I am a different person now. And whatever we were talking about her life, it was like she kind of saved generations of knowledge to her family. Because this is what we do when we grow as a person. When you grow as a person, you are saving yourself some suffering, but you are also saving yourself the suffering of the future generations, because whatever you learn, it will pass, whether you are conscious about it or not. Imagine, for example, I will tell you an example from one of my clients 25 years ago. This woman came into therapy, and she was in a domestic violence situation. And at that time, the little girl, her little daughter, was like 8 or 9 years old. Yeah. So I knew my client will not last, because sometimes when we start working harder, I kind of have an idea when somebody is going to quit. So when my client was about to quit, I kind of drop an anchor on her and I say, listen, I want you back when your daughter start dating and start living in a domestic violence herself. That's not going to happen because she has me. And I say, yes, but you are still in the circle and you are not breaking it. So she has you, but you are not doing your work. So I want you back then. Years happened. She was 8, 9 years old. Then they came back when the daughter was 16, 17. And they came because the boyfriend hit her. Yeah, to the daughter. And the woman immediately say, Carmen told me that. Yeah, so they came back for mother and daughter therapy again. And the daughter ended up in therapy. The mother left again. But the daughter did amazing changes. She's an amazing professional out there. That was like 20 years ago or 15 years ago that I worked with the daughter. And this is very important. When you do your changes for yourself, your generations will improve, learning from you. So even though you take 3, 4 years, 5 years of reading the Course of Miracles, it exists in Spanish. It actually exists in 40-something languages. You will save yourself. Don't want to read the Course of Miracles? Too difficult or too controversial or whatever, or you don't believe in channeling, or you don't believe that Jesus Christ channeled this? Well, I think Jesus Christ has very weird sense of English or Spanish, because the English is really difficult to understand. And the Spanish is kind of this Shakespeare Spanish. But, well, Jesus Christ was 100 years ago, yeah. I forgive him. So, that was my joke. Here they are so busy with the technology.
Sorry, we are in Facebook
Yeah.
and YouTube.
Oh my
and the
God.
party Facebook,
And you are in a party on
Yes.
Facebook.
several groups.
Wow, they are having more fun than me there. Well, if you are in Facebook, definitely you will see us somewhere there. The next book. The next book is, oh my God, one of my favorites of all time. It's in English and in Spanish and probably in French. I think it needs to be in French. The Body Has Its Reason by Thérèse de Berterad. The body has its reasons. Yeah. And this is a book about self-care for the body. It's so much that we do with our body. It's so much, seriously. So much stress, so much trauma, so much everyday life issues going to our body that taking a massage every day will not be enough. Going to the chiropractor sometimes will not be enough. As much hours as you put into yoga, they are not enough. Yeah. If you do all of these things, if you go for a walk, do yoga, meditate, take care of your body, do some dancing, etc., most likely you will get to work your trauma more easily. But there are some traumas that have difficult and strong impact in our body. So Thérèse de Bergerac, it was a lady in France that she started teaching people how to take care of, how to be aware of their bodies. And she had a method that it was certain movements, certain exercises that it was not yoga, and it was nothing to do with yoga. So that you could do. I think now it's also the Feldenkrais method that is similar. So if you are reading Thérèse de Bergerac is kind of getting into that little place in France that many people around the world travel to go and visit her. You will have all of these books in the Amazon store in Emotions in Harmony. Yeah, so you can go and check them out. And also we will put them in the notes for you. This Thérèse de Bergerac helped me to ever see the same way my body. It helped me to understand when it's too much, when I need to stop working, when I need to stop stressing. It helped me to understand when I really abuse my body. So go and read it and send us your comments because I'm very sure you will like it. Yeah. And then there is the other book. I don't have it in English. That's my back in the days when I was not English speaker. Is Louise Hay. Louise Hay, who passed away last year, not a long time ago, left for us a beautiful, beautiful legacy of thinking that our emotions, our thoughts have an impact in our body and vice versa. So this is the body called You Can Heal Your Life in English. Here you can see it in Spanish. And one of the beautiful things about this book is that it has a list. Actually, one of the chapters is called The List. And it has a list of what are that is happening, a illness that is happening in your body, and what is the relationship with the thoughts that or the emotions that you are struggling with. Yeah. For example, I am just speaking randomly here, and it's in Spanish, so I'm going to translate. For example, arthritis in your fingers. Accordingly to Louise Hay, this is a desire to punish, guilt, on when somebody feels like the victim. Yeah. So she suggests some sentence that it will help you to heal, like, I see with love and compassion. I elevate all my experiences to the light of love. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm sure if you find it in English, it will be even more beautiful. Here is another example. Headaches. The headaches is, according to Louise Hay, when somebody invalidates herself or himself. When somebody self-judgment, or fear. I will add to Louise Hay, when somebody is perfectionist. The perfectionists have headaches very often because everything is so tight, yeah, and everything needs to be so perfect. So this is some suggestions from Louise Hay that you need to repeat yourself. I approve and I love myself. I see in love in everything that I do. I am safe. I'm kind of translating this, remember, from Spanish to English. And there is pages of all of these, like acne, addiction, anemia, insomnia, hip problems with your hips, cholesterol, everything, heart problems, continuous pain, like chronic pain, everything, your stomach pain, everything that you can imagine. So find Louise Hay in her book that you can heal your life. And if you have in your back all of this, if you have in your knowledge all of these books, you will not be the same person. It's impossible to be the same person because there is not that much place to hide after that. Sometimes we love to hide behind somebody, blaming somebody else, pretending it's not our fault, or being so quick to be so unhappy. I love getting knowledge from all kind of resources, not only books. I am sure there are many books that they are not written yet, and they will never be. And those books are with elderly. I gather a lot of knowledge from my grandma. I had the opportunity to spend days and days and days with my grandma when she was healthy and happy. And I learned a lot. My grandma was an indigenous woman. And there is a lot of knowledge that I gathered from her. I gather how we can enjoy just taking a shower and going and let our hair dry outside in the garden. This is why we are sitting in the garden today too. Just sit outside, let the air dry your hair, enjoy, have conversations with your friends, take time to drink tea with women friends, with men friends, with everything. So if you have some sentence or some piece of knowledge that you learn from the elders in your life, from your grandma, from any elder in your life, please share with us. And if you are so kind, you can give us your name and we can quote your grandma and convert it into a quote in Instagram or something like that. Because as I'm telling you, there are books that they will never be written. But there is so much knowledge there that we want to honor. So, 4 books, 3 or 4 books from Cristobal Mo, The Disappearance of the Universe, Life Has Forgotten No One, The End of Reincarnation, all of them by Gary Renard. And these books will help you to understand the Course in Miracles. This is the book that Cristobal Mo recommends, The Course in Miracles. The publisher is Foundation for the Inner Peace. I highly recommend that too. And 3 other books that I recommend. You Can Heal Your Life from Louise Hay. The Body Has Its Reasons. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot one more. Ask and Is Given. That was my 4th one. Ask and Is Given. It's because I don't have it physically here. This is why I almost forgot it. Ask and Is Given from Esther Jerry Hicks is also a channeled book. Abraham is the entity that channels, that dictates to Esther. And that book helped me to understand that I am a child of the universe, of God, or whatever you want to put it. I'm a loved child, besides my parents, of something else. Yeah. And I can ask anything. And whatever is in the best interest for me, it will come. Anything. And we're talking about abundance here. I'm not talking only about financial resources, economic resources. I'm talking about love, trust. Yeah. I don't know, peace. Yeah. So this book and the entire set of books from Esther Jerry Hicks helped me to understand that I deserve better. Esther and Jerry Hicks are the first ones, as far as I understand, who talk about the secret, but they didn't talk that commercially. So the other group of people separate from them and then became famous with The Secret. But it was Esther and Jerry Hicks. If you go to their books, they are a couple. If you go to their books, you will understand in much deeper sense the book of The Secret, or the whole idea of The Secret and the law of attraction. I remember something that I learned from Abraham, which is the one who dictates the book. He says, for example, if you want to create more abundance in your life, you need to unclutter. And he shares a very clear system how to unclutter your life. And go and unclutter and open spaces for something new, for example. So Ask and Is Given is one of the books that I recommend to you, and the entire set of Esther Jerry Hicks. I hope this is helpful to you. I am positive it will be helpful to you, and I hope you cannot be the same after you read all these books. And share with us, tell us what else we can do. Please go to emotionsinharmony.org and share every episode. What we are learning now is that you can actually create a watch party in Facebook with our videos. You can put them together and create with your friends a watch party, and this is the best way you can help us. And if you have the intention and you can also want to share your abundance with us, please go and donate. Whatever, all your donations go to the production of these videos. We want to change the world for better. And please help us to do so. Okay? Well, bye for now. See you later next week in Spanish.
We have ended one more episode of Emotions in Harmony. See you the next one, when Dr. Carmen Roman will help us to have a more fulfilled life caring for ourselves and the ones we care for. Meanwhile, visit www.emotionsinharmony.com to see the show notes, subscribe, and enjoy more content.